the winning goal. Manny, I think it's safe to say with Vinicius, he's won over his teammates. There was times you could sense frustration from some of the veteran midfielders, but as the season went along, he became a lot more consistent, culminating in that all-important goal in Paris.
Yeah, I think so. I think he flattered to deceive at times early on in his Real Madrid career, but I agree, last season he really came of age. And as you say, it doesn't culminate any better than that, does it, in that winning goal in the Champions League final.
Angel Di Maria against his former club, winning a corner kick. He was probably welcomed by some of the Real Madrid faithful here. I remember his time. Just went on to PSG and now trying to force his way into the Argentina squad for the upcoming World Cup, which I still have not got used to saying the Winter World Cup.
Please don't ever get used to it.
Maria whipped in Courtois, who was man of the match in Paris a couple of months ago. Comfortable, but then almost gave it away. Vinicius with a chance to go forward. Nice ball inside for Benzema. Scored an absolutely world-class goal against Club America. Valverde, Modric. Valverde, good play again from Real Madrid. They look really on the game here early on.
Yeah, very much more on the game for me, just as you say that. Of course, commentators curse, they give the ball away, but you are right. They started well early on, obviously had that goal disallowed inside the first 15, 16 seconds. But certainly against Barcelona, they were very much second best. Not only because they didn't have a shot on target, not only because they didn't dictate and dominate possession, but Barcelona really squeezed high on Real Madrid, and they really struggled to break that pressure, Real Madrid, which is very much a surprise for a side of the quality and the technical ability of Real Madrid. But of course, it wasn't this 11 on show against Barca.
Valverde. Carvajal. Yes, some managers would get a little bit flustered when they lose a Clasico, but not Mr. Ancelotti.
Nothing flusters him, that's for certain. He's been there, done it, seen everything.
Valverde, he's been really lively so far, and he's won a free kick here. Locatelli goes across, and he's pleading his innocence. It did look like there was contact.
Well, there was certainly a little bit of contact, but also it's not the sort of challenge you want to see in pre-season. Valverde, obviously, with some nice tight control. But then you see that challenge. It's a poor challenge from Locatelli, and luckily Valverde's foot wasn't planted, otherwise that could have been a little bit nasty. You never want to see that type of challenge, certainly not in pre-season. But of course, we're getting closer. The players want to have those 50-50 tackles, but they certainly don't need that type of leg breaker almost. It certainly had the propensity to be from Locatelli.
This is a long way out, but Toni Kroos, the obvious right-footed option. Alaba is known to go for goal from this distance. Instead, they've gone on a training ground routine to Valverde, and it's gone horribly wrong.
It was. It certainly was something they've worked on previously, of course. But to hit that moving ball coming across you as it was for Valverde, it's a tough skill. Certainly one he's managed in training, of course, time after time. But it didn't happen here on match day.
Bremer goes to Mathieu Pereira. Part-time Genoa goalkeeper. Modric. Gives it away cheaply. Until it goes back to Bremer. You can hear the chants. No doubt about who the favourites of the fans are here in Pasadena. Modric. Back in the right position. Lovely dummy from Benzema, and almost too quick for Vinicius.
Absolutely, 100%. He was just thinking one move ahead. Vinicius wasn't on the same wavelength.
He's got another opportunity. Saka with a really cheap giveaway. Vinicius going at two defenders, and he's just run into them. Good play from Bonucci, just dropped off. That was a let-off for Juventus, who've given the ball away cheaply on a couple of occasions now. Just trying to calm things down for Juve in the midfield. Dusan Vlahovic. So much expected of him. He loses out that time. Benzema. Vinicius making the run further forward, trying to slip him through. Good piece of defending. Bonucci.
It's a couple of times now, isn't it, in quick succession. Bonucci, I don't quite want to say he's shown his experience, but he has shown that ability to read the game that we know he has. As you've mentioned a little bit earlier on, Keith, no more Chiellini. I just envisage those two guys being sat together in the training ground, in the dressing room, on the back of the bus playing cards. I just think those guys have been on the same wavelength for year upon year. Now he needs a new partner, and he's found one in Bremer.
Modric. Good movement from Benzema, and he just drops into that pocket, turns and faces up. Absolute nightmare for a centre-back to play against.
A centre-back needs help from the player playing in that holding midfield position ahead of them, because that's what he loves to do, Benzema. Drop 5-10 yards off those centre-halves. That's when you need Locatelli to be playing on his toes. That's all down to communication as well. The communication has to come from Bremer and from Bonucci in telling Locatelli exactly where Benzema is going. And he does it again.
Yeah, Benzema again finding a pocket. Valverde again trying to find Benzema. That one's well cut out. It might not make Juventus feel any better, but pretty much every team has had the same issue with trying to lock down that space that Benzema will exploit.
And I think he's just one of those players that you know exactly what he's going to do, but it's still tough to stop. It's like Bayern Munich and Ian Robben, when Robben used to cut in from the right-hand side and curl it into that top corner, or Carlos Vela at LAFC. You know exactly what he's going to do. It's hard to stop sometimes, and players have that much quality. They've seen everything defensively, and it remains really hard for you to stop it. And Benzema, just sheer class, world class. You called it. I agree.
With a cheap giveaway moments ago, and Real Madrid again on the front foot. Carvajal. Casemiro. Cruz. Modric. Carvajal staying very high, as Lucas Vazquez did against Club America in that right-back position. Cruz. A couple of young midfielders now, Real Madrid, and Aurelien Tchouameni and Camavinga. You wonder if that's the future. I'll tell Toni Kroos and Luka Modric that.
It's certainly the future, but it's one that Toni Kroos hopes is the future in 2 or 3 years' time, rather than this season or next, that's for sure. Because Tchouameni and Camavinga are undoubted talents.
And again, just a little bit too much on it from the young Brazilian, who hasn't had the best start on that left-hand side. But in for Locatelli. Of course, Juventus do have in the ranks US international Weston McKennie in midfield as well.
It's been a shame, hasn't it, on this sort of pre-season tour, this pre-season tour, that we haven't seen him.
Playing that ball for Sandro, gets in behind. Sandro gets his cross in, flick towards the far post. Cleared by Mendy. That was much better from Juventus, and it was a marauding run forward from the left-back, Alexandra, that started it.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes into the game. That's really the first time that Juventus have caused any problems for this back line of Real Madrid.
Bonucci. Locatelli goes back to Bonucci. First time Real Madrid have been back into their own half of the field. The former Borussia Mönchengladbach midfielder. Bremer. Sandro. Locatelli. This is better from Juventus, but good pressure as well. Well played to get out of that pressure. Now there's options on for Juve. Vlahovic, and that one just behind her. It wasn't a foul. Yes, it was. Free kick in a really good position. Good run from Dusan Vlahovic.
Fagioli, who's been fouled, and again it's another one of those sliding challenges, because he's slightly out of position here. Casemiro absolutely nowhere near the man, well, nowhere near the ball rather, very near to the man, just lifts that right leg as Fagioli's trying to jump over him. It's a yellow card in a game, that is for certain, in a real game that's not a pre-season friendly.
Two options further forward as well. Vlahovic and Di Maria had made a really good run too. Now it's going to be a free kick, and this may well be in shooting distance. So angry watching on.
Well, at least you have to believe here that this will be a direct shot. So 26, 27 yards out here. Left footer and right footer over the ball.
Sandro and Bonucci. Let's see if Bonucci's pulled rank here. Let's go for goal, and it's off the woodwork.
Well, it's certainly not very often that a centre-half can call off the forward player. If this is another couple of yards out, this may just dip down and hit the target. This one just grazes the top of the bar from Bonucci.
The high press continues here. That's much better again from Juventus. And this one might fall for them. Chance. Thibaut Courtois is down, and it's a complete miss-hit of a shot. Zakaria breaking in from midfield. It's going to be a goal kick, but it was mistakes at the back from Real Madrid that opened things up. And it really should have been punished.
They should be. And this is how they struggled, Real Madrid, against Barcelona. Here Vlahovic just gets in the way of Zakaria. He wanted it. He's a centre-forward, Vlahovic. Even though his back's to goal, he wanted to get on that rebound. But he shouldn't have. Vlahovic should have just got out of the way. And then Zakaria, for me, would have hit the target without a shadow of a doubt. But Real Madrid, tonight, they have the starting 11 we would expect. Hasn't played together, certainly in this pre-season.
Juventus absolutely caught napping. Vinicius made a really good run, not offside because it's a throw-in. Finds Benzema, well defended. Zakaria got back in and made the challenge. Lovely piece of industry from Vinicius to recognise that high defensive line.
It's just a number of players caught ball watching, players of the quality of Bremer and Bonucci caught ball watching. Quite remarkable.
At full stretch, and is this one going to go out and play for a corner? Yes, it is. Fascinating match so far. Really good start from Real Madrid. Juventus have responded.
Yeah, this is not just about a quarter of an hour in, and we've got a real football match on our hands, and we shouldn't be surprised about that when you've got two giants of football like Real Madrid and Juventus. And as you've mentioned, just days away from that first game, that first true competitive game for Real Madrid.
Bruce goes for Vinicius. Bruce back for Modric. Twists and turns, gets it on his left foot. Never had enough purchase on it to really trouble. Carvajal. Valverde goes onto his left foot and over hits the cross. And a play for the Juventus goal kick.
Yeah, I agree. I think the cross is overhit, but also I think there'll be the expectancy from Valverde that someone will be pulling around that back post, and nobody is. Everybody had congregated in between the goalposts. Nobody, Vinicius Junior, would expect him just to drop off and maybe curl a run towards that back stick. Nothing happened, though. Just made Valverde's cross look way overhit.
Both sides have tried to press when the opportunity presents itself. Really warm day today in California, but cooling down now here as the sun sets in Pasadena. Really nice touch for Bonucci. Bremer. Nice ball forward. Majoli. Di Maria. Good challenge, really good tackle. Benzema, Casemiro, Modric, Benzema again just drifting and trying to pick out a pass for Vinicius. Really good read from Bonucci, but we're seeing every facet of Karim Benzema's game. Not just a goal scorer, he can be a provider as well.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to watch that El Clasico in Las Vegas, and it was a Benzema-less Real Madrid side, and it is that kind of ability, that type of player to drop a little deeper, find pockets of space that they missed on that evening. Certainly aren't missing it here. It's probably the best player for me so far, Karim Benzema for Real Madrid.
Valverde. Benzema. Being the real danger man so far again. He just seems to find a way to turn and face up against the opposition. Bruce. chance to come the other way for Juventus. Di Maria, Vlahovic. And it's given right back. Now Vinicius has a bit of space up against Bonucci. Benzema on the overlap. Vinicius going to go alone. Is he taken down? Certainly looked that way. And the penalty's given. Just a clip on the back of the ankle from Vinicius. But what a run from Benzema to open up that space as well. Juventus complain, but I think when we watch a replay, it's going to be pretty clear. This was a penalty.
Well, we've got no VAR on show here, so this is 100% a penalty. We know that, and it's the correct decision as well for Michael Radchuk. And what an absolutely dreadful giveaway here from Vlahovic. It's a really poor pass. You have to covet the ball, you have to want to possess it. And this run from Benzema, just overlapping Vinicius Junior, just opens the whole game up for the Real Madrid forward, and he just cuts inside towards that penalty spot, and he is clipped. 100% a penalty. Dreadful play here from Juventus. Cannot give the ball away there against a team of that attacking prowess of this purple-clad Real Madrid side.
A big moment for Matteo Perrin in goal tonight. He's tasked with trying to deny Karim Benzema from the penalty spot. Many people's favourite for the Ballon d'Or, Karim Benzema! Couldn't have hit it any better. Keeper guessed right. But it was with such precision from Benzema that he was not going to get there, and Real Madrid have the opening goal at the Rose Bowl.
Well, the best player on show tonight has provided us with the first goal. Yes, it's come from the penalty spot, an unopposed strike from 12 yards, of course, but Benzema hits it truly, hits it with pace and with precision. Absolutely nothing Perrin can do. Here's the foul, absolutely 100% a foul. Danilo can point at the ball as much as he wants, but the ball's the round spherical thing, he gets nowhere near it. It's a foul. And this is how to take a penalty, Keith. The goalkeeper can guess the right way if he wants. Gets nowhere near it, clasping at thin air. 1-0 to Real Madrid, I think a deserved 1-0 too.
And all from a giveaway. Vinicius, well, he was taken down, but again, Karim Benzema playing a huge part in that as well. 34 years of age, and still willing to make the overlapping run to open up space for others.
Absolutely, willing to be unselfish. I think he knew he wasn't going to get the ball. I think that was a run merely to take defenders away. And of course, when you've got Benzema overlapping, it's no wonder that the Juventus defenders are all of a sudden just keeping their eye on him, moving towards him, opens the space up. A terrible challenge as well from Danilo.
Run further forward, Di Maria, and a cheap giveaway, Vinicius. The ball inside for Benzema. Cruz, and Valverde is wide open on the far side. And Cruz did have a look, and he might have said that at this stage of pre-season might be a little bit out of range.
Yeah, possibly. Hasn't done those quad weights in the last couple of weeks, maybe, but yes, normally Cruz can hit that ball. He's got that passing range, we know it.
Some of you struggling to get up here as well today. You haven't been.
Oh yeah, well, not at all. I needed oxygen by the time I got up here. And I was in the elevator.
Zakari trying to thread that one through, and it fizzed all the way. I don't think Moyes' Keane was expecting it initially. I don't think it was intended for him. Trying to play for the goal kick.
No, but there's just that little bit of discord, isn't there, up front. I think Di Maria sometimes loves to flit inside into the middle of the field, but he's playing more on the right-hand side here.
This is better from Juventus. Keane just about keeps it in play. Sandro alongside him, a good challenge from Militao. It's a real physical battle, and the free kick goes against the Juventus striker. Militao, Matty, another one that took a while to win over the fans. He came in, and well, you have Sergio Ramos, you have him looming large when you're a Juventus centre-back. He's coming off an excellent campaign.
Yeah, he is, and I think slowly but surely he's growing into this team as well here at Real Madrid. That's certainly a foul from Moise Keane. I think there's a lot of malice in it, not a real great deal of intent, but it is a free kick.
I think he took a knock where time is the only healer for that injury.
Just checking everything's in place.
We've all been there. Towards Valverde. Well won by Valverde as well.
Yeah, Benzema just gave him a little clap there. I don't think Benzema was expecting that. You've always got to be gambling, expecting a teammate to win a flick on. But maybe Benzema's just seen Valverde's heading in training and didn't think that was quite possible.
These two sides met in the 2017 Champions League final. Just a hint or a way of showing the longevity of this Real Madrid team. 5 of the players that started in 2017 are starting this evening as well.
What a great statistic that is. That really is, as you say, for those players to be at their peak as well as way back as 2017 and all here, all together, still the core, the nucleus of that side, and still winning. I think that's the main point, Keith.
Juventus, Alexandro and Leonardo Bonucci both started that game. Possession here in midfield. They have options forward. Di Maria. Di Maria just turning into pressure. He managed to keep himself going forward. Vlahovic looking for another free kick. Sandro. Ragioli. The ball in behind and good piece of defending. Casemiro not only wins it, but he keeps it in play as well. Although he almost gave it right back to Juventus.
It's a holding midfielder's job as well, and Casemiro does it so well. We know that early we did give a poor free kick away on the edge of the penalty area. Apart from that, he's been pretty flawless so far, Casemiro. Sometimes under pressure, Militao maybe doesn't quite crumble, but we know he doesn't perform always the best under pressure. We saw him in the earlier pre-season friendly in Vegas when he gave the ball away on the edge of his own penalty area. That resulted in a goal for Barcelona. It was the winner for Barca.
Free kick here for Juventus. That win, incidentally, for Real Madrid in Paris, 14th Champions League title, and Juventus, on the other hand, have lost 7 finals. They've been to the final on 9 occasions, so when you consider the elite of European competition, Real Madrid just seem to elevate themselves into another level all by themselves. Good defensive play from Alaba. It's going to be a throw-in for Juve. These two remember each other from their time in the Bundesliga, I'm sure.
Yeah, they certainly do. You talk about Real Madrid, and that's what winners do, isn't it? They perform under pressure as well, and against the best of the best, the elite, the best in Europe. Madrid, they don't seem to lose many finals.
Danilo, nice angle on that cross for the right footer. Valverde, like for Carvajal. 5 Champions Leagues for Carvajal at that right-back position. That wide for Vinicius, good read by Danilo. Di Maria again, just pocket pick by Toni Kroos. Ragioli, nice ball out wide from Moise Keane. He's been quiet so far. Down low on Everton man, Ragioli. Looking for the ball in behind, good run from Vlahovic. Sandro whips that one in, and Ferland Mendy with a nervy touch back towards Courtois. But it works out well for the French defender. Pressured again, and that's not a great ball. Militao and his appeals for a penalty from the Juve fans in attendance. Militao's at full stretch. It was an awful ball from Ferland Mendy. Actually, it was a Vinicius, I think it might have ended up with the pass, and the referee, he's surrounded by Juventus players. You mentioned it, Matty, no VAR tonight, so on-field decision stands.
Yeah, look, we know that Di Maria has that propensity to go over easily, and certainly will make a meal of things. But this was very, very close. I haven't seen another look at it, But at the time, I thought there was every chance this could be a penalty. It was a really close one. But the main crux of the matter is, don't play a square ball across your own penalty area. It really is. For Mendy here, it's difficult to tell at full speed. So if Michael Radchuk's got it wrong, you can see why. I think Di Maria gets to the ball, but at a very similar time to Militao.
You've seen those given, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've certainly seen those given, that's for certain, and I still stick with it. At match speed, I thought it was a penalty. This would need to go to VAR and would need to be looked at time and time again and slowed down and seen from different angles, of course.
I just wonder if the players knew there was no VAR, and pre-season, of course, but they did surround the referee, Michael Radchuk, and he was kind of just saying that, well, the decision's already been made, we move on. We have a bit of a water break because of the hot temperatures here.
Well, as you see that again, it almost looks 50-50. It almost looks as though they get to the ball at exactly the same time. I think Militao will just about say he gets to the ball first. I don't quite want to sit on the fence, Keith, but I'm thoroughly happy to sit on the fence here. And
who would be a referee? That's
exactly.
all I'm going to say.
Well, not me, that's for sure.
Not a very good one, anyway.
No, that'd be dreadful.
Max Allegri talking to Fagioli, who has been lively in midfield. He's got on the ball a couple of times. Well, it is a stunning venue. It hosted the 1994 World Cup. Juventus fans, Italian fans won't want that mentioned too many times. Beautiful setting here in Pasadena. And the only goal so far has come because Vinicius was taken down. There's the challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely a foul, this one. Dinello claims he plays the ball, but this is how to dispatch a penalty, isn't it, from Benzema? The goalkeeper guesses the right way, Perrin, but just the power and the precision takes the ball past Perrin. Doesn't even get fingertips to it.
Are we looking at the Ballon d'Or winner this year?
No, it'll probably go to Lionel Messi or Ronaldo as normal, but yes, we should be looking at the Ballon d'Or winner, that is for certain. I'll take my tongue-in-cheek comments away. Of course, 100% Karim Benzema should be the Ballon d'Or winner. And look, he's showing why here as well tonight. And yes, I know a pre-season friendly. I know an exhibition game, if you will. He's the best player on the park right now, and at 34 years of age, in a pre-season friendly. He could claim that he could be taking a breather. Should be in the starting 11 for that Super Cup game, whether he performs well or not tonight.
Well, he's keen, trying to get in behind Militao, utilising that pace of his to get across.
Well, because Keane's quick as well. Militao's equally fast as well. It's a great thing for a centre-half, maybe somebody who doesn't read the game as well as, say, a Bonucci. But if you can be reliant on that quick pace over the first 5-10 yards, as Militao is, certainly helps you out.
Rose Bowl. Again, but that's been sold out. The fans still arriving in right now. It's not the easiest of venue to get to. And even when you get here, you still have a trek to get into the stadium.
Yeah, but we can still see fans filtering into the venue, can't we? We know it is sold out, but certainly not a capacity crowd here yet.
Vinicius running behind this time from Cruz. Doesn't do this often. Pulls it back, Benzema inside the area, tries to play that ball across. Carvajal takes a good first touch. He's got support from Valverde. Carvajal crossed towards the far post and it ran out of play. But there's so many runners from so many different angles there, Real Madrid in the attack. Polar opposite to what we saw in that Clasico last week.
Yeah, absolutely. Bodies are getting forward very quickly, and the two fullbacks, are getting forward as well. Almost there. Carvajal got so far forward, Valverde was getting in his way. Should have called him off really at the back post there, Carvajal. But again, it's about Benzema, isn't it? And that willingness to be unselfish, even when he's got the ball in the penalty area, he doesn't always shoot, trying to pick out a teammate.
Good win again from Militao. Has been really good at centre-back so far for Real Madrid. Vinicius. Won by equally impressive Bonucci.
Just a little bit different centre-half to Militao. We've talked about Militao's reliance on pace. Bonucci certainly doesn't. It's all about reading the game. almost, for me, growing up watching Alan Hansen, that type of player who never gets their knees dirty, never has to slide in. They read the game so well, and Bonucci certainly does that.
The wave going around the Rose Bowl right now, the atmosphere ramping up a notch. Alaba. Mendy, again not looking comfortable playing that ball back in. And again Juventus winning it high, Vlahovic.
Look, it's intriguing that you mentioned that about Mendy and his uncomfortableness on the ball at times. That's why there's a lot of talk about Rudiger maybe playing left back for Real Madrid, and certainly he performed pretty well in their last friendly game. Rudiger did for Real Madrid.
Modric, one-footed defender again. 36 years of age, but still going really strong. Benzema, 34. Cruz, 32. Veterans, but still masters of the craft.
Yeah, but almost in the modern game, at 32, maybe 34, that's not so much of a veteran. We see players going on longer than that. You only need to look at Ibrahimovic. I know he may be one of the only ones, but you look at a Ronaldo, I think mid-30s, players still have that ability to play. The way they look after themselves, the sports scientists, the nutritionists, players are easily able to go into their mid-30s.
Vinicius, Modric, Valverde, Carvajal could go for goal. Instead he tried to cross. I thought the angle was on for him to strike. He was trying to be unselfish. He's won a corner, but he could have had so much more.
But in trying to be unselfish, I think he's trying to cross the ball back in between 5 defenders. It makes it very difficult. I think you're right with your first assumption. Strike the ball across the goalkeeper. That was the option.
The short corner doesn't come off, and it's out of play for the goal kick. Carvajal, though, man, he had some difficult time. I remember the performance against Paris Saint-Germain, where Kylian Mbappe seemed to have his way with him, but ever resilient Real Madrid last year. Found a way in games, even when they weren't at the best.
Yeah, but look, sometimes you can't blame a player by being done up by Kylian Mbappe, either one of the best in the world, as we know. And what we also know about the best players in the world, somebody like a Carvajal at his position, is just because they have a bad game, they don't let it affect them. They get back out on that training ground, they watch video, they realise what they did wrong.
Big fans. The expectation he was going to go for goal there, instead he tried to find Valverde. Now he's gone all the way to the far post. Vinicius towards that far post, but too close to pin it.
Yeah, you see what Vinicius is aiming for there. For Benzema at the far post, there's 3 or 4 Juventus shirts around him, though. Really difficult ball, trying to thread the eye of the needle there, Vinicius.
Press coming from Real Madrid again, this time won by Alaba. Cruz. Modric thought about shooting. Carvajal on the overlap again. This one back in between 2, but Cruz chases it down. Casemiro, not just overlapping fullbacks. They have Alaba as a left winger. He's playing central midfield for the Austrian national team.
Yeah, but he knows he's got Casemiro there, who's just willing to sit in as a left centre-half. They've just switched positions now.
They're going to have to get back quickly here, because Vlahovic trying to lead the counter. Di Maria. Juventus, one of those clubs that do find value in some of the older players. Trying to bring in someone like Di Maria. They have Bonucci, of course, still leading that back line.
Have more ability to do that in Serie A as well. I think it's slightly slower paced as well. And Di Maria will fit in pretty well there. As I say, Di Maria and Pogba in that first friendly that I saw Juventus playing against Chivas Guadalajara. A team not quite with the same ability, of course, as Real Madrid, but they were very, very influential. Just a real shame that Pogba already this early on has got injured.
I think everybody would agree that Paul Pogba's best spell as a club player came in Juventus colours. Vinicius, Benzema out wide. Vinicius making a run away, just trying to open up the space for Benzema. Benzema inside the area,
Bonucci's seen that before. Yes, he has. He totally shows Benzema onto his left foot. Benzema, as you know, wants to cut back onto his right foot. Even with Bonucci offering up that angle to take a shot with the left foot, he tries to cut back. Bonucci's seen that before.
Pre-season or not, you see the very best against the very best in that kind of situation. Di Maria just not coming back from an offside position.
Well, yes, the best against the best, but you see winners not wanting to lose as well, whether it's pre-season, whether it's tiddlywinks, whether it's a game of cards. Those type of people, they are born to win. There's no way they want to have any let up here. Bonucci absolutely top drawer, as is Benzema.
Who's started on the right, but he's come in so often because Carvajal just steps out in that wing position. Here is Dani Carvajal. In for Casemiro.
Almost anybody in this Real Madrid side has that licence to roam. We talked about Alaba being at left wing, then knowing that Casemiro would sit in at left centre-half. Not only very good players, they're unselfish players as well. Understanding of the game, these Real Madrid players. As you see, even here, Benzema almost dropping into a left-back position.
There's Carvajal. See the ball back inside for Valverde. Pulls back to the edge of the penalty area, but it was Locatelli who was well positioned. Headed it forward, but Takami won it back for Juventus. Wow, they choose a big, powerful, almost like a throwback number 9. Number of Premier League clubs were interested, but he only wanted Juventus signing for the club on his 22nd birthday. Bonucci. Takes a deflection and falls kindly for Modric. Casemiro. Benzema trying to get back onside. He does. That ball slipped towards him. Good defending from Brennan. Showing good pace to get across there in front of Karim Benzema, the new Juve centre-back.
It's all about knowing your players, isn't it? If you're playing the ball into Benzema, you want it played into his feet. You don't want it playing into his path where he's got to run after it, especially when he's up against Clement then. There's only one winner, it wasn't Benzema.
It's just ball in behind for Luka Modric. Flag stares down. Mendy, Vinicius. Step forward. Not quite sure if that's what Carlo Ancelotti has scripted in his team talk, but Alaba perhaps getting a little bit bored in the centre-back role.
Yeah, and again though, Casemiro had sat back into that position. Had a camera shot, they were just giving each other a little bit of a pat, Casemiro and Alaba. As I say, understanding of the game, all of these Real Madrid players, Casemiro certainly does. Anytime he sees Alaba overlapping him, he just sits back in straight alongside Militao.
Clear inside to Carvajal, who nonchalantly just chests it to himself. Moments like that, you know you're watching the best in European competition. Reigning Champions League winners. Days away from that UEFA Super Cup game against Eintracht Frankfurt, who won the Europa League in a very entertaining final against Glasgow Rangers.
I think you're seeing a difference in the two sides here. Of course, Real Madrid are a better side than Juventus, but also we're seeing different centre forwards. Benzema's been highly dominant for Real Madrid. Vlahovic has been wildly anonymous. He hasn't been in the game at all. We've got him an old-school centre-forward, I tend to agree. Unless you can get the ball into him, he is anonymous. It's been an abject performance from him, but it's not just his fault.
Mendy, Vinicius loves to come inside. Good ball for Benzema, back for Vinicius. It might fall again for Benzema. Playing from Alex Alexander to come across and just intercept, and then Juve almost give it right back, but then will take no chances as it clears, or only as far as Madrid. Pressure coming again here from the European champions. Ball in behind Vinicius, and that near post. Would have had to be so precise to beat the goalkeeper. You like the confidence of the young man.
Yeah, I don't know whether he just had a little look up here, though, Vinicius. He does so well to get himself back on side. As the ball comes to him, he maybe has a little glance up, sees there's nobody in the penalty area, so he has to go for that near post area. As you say, though, Keith, it would be very difficult to beat any goalkeeper from that angle. But there's nobody in the box for him to play it to, so the only real option. But for me, we've probably got to go across the face of the goalkeeper. The near post area, always a strong position for the goalie.
And Zakaria put under pressure again. Majoli, Modric. That was kick, and he held on to it there ahead of Carvajal. He wants the free kick, and I think the referee has, blown the whistle.
Yeah, look, Carvajal was just run over. He knew they'd accidentally stood on the back, probably the Achilles of Moise Kean. And Keane just trotting away. I think he'll be all right, though.
Vlahovic coming back in to get a touch. Bonucci. Brenner. Is furious that ball hasn't been played early. A little flick in behind. Vlahovic, really good run on the wrong side of Militao, who did well to get back in and make that interception. He was beaten for a moment, but he recovered well.
That's what pace does for you, isn't it? Vlahovic is just waiting for the ball to drop. By that time, Militao's already got himself back into position. He's furious as well, Militao. He wants a goal kick there.
Kick. This might be the last opportunity in the first half for Juventus. Angel Di Maria. Bonucci is making his way into the penalty area. Called in, the header, and somehow it goes through everybody in the six. I think the whistle had gone for offside as well. Real Madrid not waiting around, they're on the counter. Benzema. Too much on a football, everything. Defensive playing from Danilo. They're putting Majoli a bit of pressure with that pass. Majoli does well. The final few seconds of the first half here at the Rose Bowl. Matty, your overall thoughts on the first 45 minutes?
Well, Real Madrid have been much the better side. We see that in terms of the scoreline, in terms of the possession statistics, 60% to 40%. I don't think Juventus are dealing with the high press very well. When Real Madrid really want to pressurise Juventus, they keep giving the ball away. I think we've seen a team playing full of confidence in Real Madrid. The side here that you said was the Champions League winning team. I think you're seeing that, the understanding that all the players have got with each other. Juventus is very much a side not playing with confidence. And at times it hasn't been great going forward, the cohesion or lack thereof of the cohesion going forward. And Vlahovic, for me, just the anonymity of that centre forward has made it very difficult for Juventus to be successful going forward, certainly so far.
They've been linked with a couple of forwards recently, Juventus. I think Martial's name is one that's popped up. So if they do make a move over the next couple of weeks transfer window, certainly far from closed. Vinicius. Little flick over the defender. The fans loving that. Modric can have a minimum of 2 additional here at the end of the first half. A bit of space the other way for Di Maria. Perhaps a couple of years ago that was space that Di Maria would attack and gallop into, but a veteran now at this stage of his career, perhaps saving those moments for the season as well.
I think so. I think he has a modicum of pace still left in those old legs, Di Maria, but I think now it's more about the manipulation of the ball and that technical ability to find pockets of space and to pick out the other players for Juventus, for teammates, rather than dribbling past multiple people.
Well, why can he finally get the delivery, and Valverde closes him down well. It's been a good battle. Cruz, Vinicius, Benzema, still worked out. Vinicius, Benzema, about to hit 2 minutes. I think that might be it. All eyes on Michael Rancho, and there is the half-time whistle. Thoroughly entertaining first 45 minutes here between the reigning Champions League winners and Italian giant Juventus. Karim Benzema, the only goal of the match from the penalty spot after Vinicius was taken down. Real Madrid have had some other chances as well, but at half-time here at the Rose Bowl in California, the score is Real Madrid 1, Juventus 0. Welcome back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California. The final game of the summer tour for both Real Madrid and Juventus. The halftime score, Real Madrid, the reigning Champions League winners, leading by a goal to nil. Karim Benzema scoring from the spot. I'm your match commentator, Keith Costigan, alongside former Millwall defender Matty Lawrence, among other clubs, of course. Matty, entertaining first half. Real Madrid edging it with the goal. Fair reflection for you on what we saw over the first half?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Real Madrid were the better side. I think Juventus struggled to play out of the back at times. When Real Madrid implemented that high press, I think apart from Bonucci, there wasn't really anybody that comfortable of playing the ball out of the back. Locatelli, I don't think, was creating enough angles to receive the ball out of defence, and I think Real Madrid were on top. We can look at statistics, which don't always show us went on, but I feel it's a fair reflection. 58% possession to Real Madrid, and also the goal, of course. 4 shots, 1 on target for Real Madrid, no shots on target for Juventus. I think it's been a really easy night in goal for Thibaut Courtois so far.
Are we seeing some of the reasons why Juventus are being linked with bringing in another striker or another attacking player over the course of the next few weeks?
Absolutely spot on. I think Vlahovic, I used the word anonymous. I think that was almost too polite to Vlahovic. He wasn't there. We didn't see him. We know that he's more of a striker who likes the ball being played into him. But I think Benzema showed him how to play as a big man. You can create pockets of space in between the defence and the holding midfielder. You can get the ball yourself. You can play on the half turn. You can create space for other players around you. Vlahovic, I don't think, did any of the above, Keith. And for me, I'm not a massive fan of Anthony Martial, but I think it would be an upgrade on Vlahovic right now, certainly looking at the 45 we've seen so far.
Couple of changes, one on either side. One, Cuadrado is going to come on in place of Angel Di Maria. He's still working his way in pre-season with his new club. Toni Rüdiger is going to come on and replace Militao, and it just shows you the strength and depth defensively for Real Madrid this year. He was a much coveted signing, Rüdiger.
It really does. And look, Rüdiger, we know can play at left back. We know he can play at centre half. The assumption being that it will be a straight swap here for Militao. But also looking at Ferland Mendy, the way he's played today, sometimes his inability to pick out a teammate almost. We know he's good defensively, but going forward with the ball, he hasn't been that good. And when I watched Rüdiger playing as a left back against Barcelona, he was one of the highlights for Real Madrid in that game where they really got outplayed by the Catalan team, Barcelona.
Matty, only 3 players in Champions League last year completed more passes than Toni Rüdiger in that left centre-back role for Chelsea. And not for the first time tonight, Juve are waiting. And as we mentioned before, when you've won pretty much everything, and you are the reigning Champions League winners, they will wait.
Yeah, and I don't think that's an egotistical thing. Well, I hope it's not from Real Madrid, but look, the game can only start when there's 2 sets of players out there. But you are right. What a great side Real Madrid have been. We mentioned some of the older players as well, but the older players have almost been the better players on show here. I think Toni Kroos has been fantastic. Benzema probably the pick of the bunch. Modric as well. We haven't seen masses of Modric, but at 36 years of age, still out there, still performing to the best of his ability.
And Juventus to kick things off, attacking from right to left to start the second half. Cuadrado on, Di Maria off, Rüdiger on for Real Madrid. Militao off. We saw Carlo Ancelotti embracing some of the Juventus staff there as well. Former Juve manager. Famous for his time as a player with Milan, that all-conquering Milan team which won 2 European Cups, which is of course being renamed as the Champions League. Toni Kroos, we expected the Real Madrid starters to get a little bit longer than usual in these pre-season matchups.
Yeah, I think the closer you get to competitive matchups, you start out in pre-season friendlies maybe playing a 45, maybe only a half an hour in some of the lesser friendlies. You work your way up, then you play 60, then maybe a 75, and at times before your first competitive game, you'll play a whole 90 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these Real Madrid players do play a full 90 before that Super Cup game against Eintracht Frankfurt in 10 days' time.
Played in behind here, Keane. That one comes off to defender Carvajal. And in through for Thibaut Courtois. Good run from Keane.
Yeah, it was. It's a decent ball from Locatelli as well. He knows where Keane's running. He doesn't really look. Just curls it around Carvajal. But it's good recovery from Dani Carvajal. Puts the pressure on Keane. But you can see, just scuffs the shot. Moise Keane.
Brenner Vlahovic, and Alaba looked like he slipped for a moment. Good read from Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, that's Courtois, what he's all about as well. That starting position, the starting position for a goalkeeper, the anticipation of those through balls as well.
I think at some stage last season there was a top 10 list by a publication in Europe in terms of goalkeepers. They actually left Thibaut Courtois off, and he was, let's just say, a little unhappy about it. I think he answered some critics in the Champions League final.
Well, he played with the chip on his shoulder the whole time after that, and he let everybody know in the Champions League final.
Well, there they. Nice bit of skill from him. Vinicius trying to break through too. Brenner, who's been really good at centre-back so far for Juventus. A strong challenge.
Well, I think Bremer has been very good, and I think he will be very good for Juventus. I know sometimes it's difficult to come into a new side, but the good thing with Bremer is, you know, he's not coming into a new league. It's a league he's comfortable with, the Serie A. And I think alongside Bonucci, obviously wildly experienced, I think they would be a really good pairing.
Mendy, and he's given that ball up a couple of times in that situation. Cuadrado came across from Chelsea initially as a winger. He's played a lot as a fullback as well. That was good pressure, but maybe too overzealous with the challenge and the free kick given for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's able to play at multiple positions, as you say. I've seen him play at right back, at left wing, and now at right wing, just in a few pre-season friendlies that Juventus have played here in the States. Don't quite want that moniker, though, Jack of all trades, master of none. I think Cuadrado really wants to nail down a position.
Danucci. Those of us looking for more from Dusan Vlahovic, I think his argument might be that he hasn't got the ball in these kind of areas enough. He's bundled off it though, really good defensive play again. Casemiro, one of the best in the business at it. Valverde, lovely play from him as well. Casemiro, Valverde continuing his run towards Benzema. He lets that one run for Vinicius. Going up Danilo, pulls it back, Benzema. Alaba on his left foot. Well, he just continues to wander from centre-back, David Alaba.
Well, Alaba doesn't mind at all, does he? He will progress as far up the field as possible. It looks a decent strike as well. It's a good block in the end. Another corner kick for Real Madrid, who've started this second half very much as they finished the first.
Cruz, was an near post, well defended. Modric. Chasing that one down, lovely little reverse pass for Toni Kroos. Options on that far side, and I think Benzema actually might have got in the way of Toni Rudiger, who was just behind him.
Absolutely, you would have thought that Rudiger would have called Benzema off, because Benzema can only get underneath the ball here and just head it up in the air. There's no way he can get a header on target. But Kroos now has another go from the corner kick. The first one was a little bit short, got headed away at the near post.
Kroos, right-footed, and the header well wide. Alaba again, the target.
Well, Alaba's playmaker, isn't he, right now, it seems? Playing as a centre-half. He's found himself in left-wing positions, found himself in right midfield positions. Maybe that's just showing us how dominant Real Madrid have been in this game, that the centre-half feels himself capable of doing that.
There's pressure again from Real Madrid. Again, just too much on it from Casemiro, but going back to Alaba, Matty, long-time left-back at Bayern, and the best in the business. Went to centre-back, one of the best in the league again, and for Austria, the best central midfielder they have. Oh, and by the way, he can score a set-piece as well.
Yeah, he has full confidence in all of those positions as well. I talked about players being a jack of all trades, master of none, but Alaba, he can manage to do that as well.
Master of all trades.
Exactly.
Catelli. Cuadrado. Danilo. Carney has gone out one. This is better from Juventus. Danilo. Come back. Cuadrado. Inside the area. Cuadrado. Couple of step-overs, maybe one too many. Chip towards the far post. Keane, just too much on it. Just over the shoulder of Carvajal. Many moments, but really hard to remember. Thibaut Courtois called into action.
I don't think he has been. He certainly hasn't made a save of any note, that's for sure.
Really strong challenge from Sandro and Valverde.
Well, a little bit petulant, you'd say. Maybe that's just telling you Juventus aren't feeling too good about this performance so far. They've been outplayed at the moment. And they themselves are not far away from the first game of the season against Sassuolo.
And they both start the same weekend, but of course the one big game in between Real Madrid is that Super Cup. Real Madrid on the travels opening weekend, Almeria. I think the work at the Bernabeu is just about done. We've seen that get a bit of a facelift over the last couple of years. Benzema running behind, and
space in behind. Real opportunity for Real Madrid. The cross towards Valverde, and acrobatic coming back in. Locatelli with the interception.
Well, it's just a little bit too much of a time of flight on this ball. Just allows Locatelli to get back into position. It's a high foot, but he clears it well. The ball just needed to be fizzed across to Valverde a little bit quicker and better for Mendy.
Modric. Cruz. Back for Modric. Outside of the foot and just overhit again over Rudiger, who just, I think, gives a bit of a thumbs up. He liked the idea. Execution just wasn't quite right.
Yeah, it's very rarely that you say that about the passing of Modric, whether it's with the inside of the right foot, the outside. This time with the outside of the right foot, just trying to pick out Rudiger.
He's not a bad record of scoring big goals, does he, with the outside of that foot, Luka Modric? Former Ballon d'Or winner himself. And in this time and age, when you have Mr. Ronaldo and Messi, that's quite a feat.
I think we all hope, most people hope, that a teammate of his in Karim Benzema wins it this time.
It's Benzema. Getting into pressure again, Cuadrado. He's offered a little bit of energy since coming on. And again, the free kick is given. Real Madrid, who at times in that Champions League run sat back and defended a little bit deeper. They've been high pressing today. There's the challenge. I don't think any doubt about that one.
No, none at all. Definitely a foul, and you're right. I think that Real Madrid also have the ability to change the tactics, and we know that Carlo Ancelotti definitely has that. And I don't think they could have played against Liverpool in this manner. I know this is only a pre-season friendly, but they're set up to press high. They felt they could do that against Liverpool. They sat back and hit on the counter, and it worked. And it worked throughout the Champions League for them.
So many times we thought they were down and out. PSG, Chelsea, Manchester City.
Well, Man City was the one for me.
Benzema turns, they've dropped off it, ball out wide. Another opportunity, cross in, and Pennant gets a hand to it. Still not cleared. Carvajal. Cruz back for Alaba. Mendy staying really advanced. Much more adventurous with his position in the second half. Lovely touch by Vinicius. Benzema takes it off the foot of Cruz. Now gives it to the German international. Vinicius goes for goal, and that one a couple of yards over. I mentioned in the first half, Matty, the run's coming from so many different angles from Real Madrid in the attack. There's Mendy coming forward.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Mendy. Just fizzes the ball across the goalkeeper. And a decent, strong hand from Perrin. Here, the power cut attempted by Vinicius Junior. But you have to get that on target. You have to force a save from the goalkeeper. Especially when you've got a more inexperienced goalkeeper in the likes of Perrin. Force him into making a save.
Lovely chest trap there from Vlahovic. Keane. Where's Keane? Trying to get to the byline. Gets his cross in, but there was enough pressure on him from Carvajal to just knock him out of his stride, and comfortable again for Thibaut Courtois.
The little nudge with the shoulder just as Keane was about to cross the ball. Forced him just to cross it into the hands of Courtois. That's probably, certainly not the toughest save, because it wasn't a save, but certainly the toughest thing he's had to do almost, Courtois.
Well, back from Modric. Rudiger. It's going to be interesting to see exactly where he lines up in this back four.
Yeah, I think his strongest position is a centre-half without a shadow of a doubt, but we saw him going up against Dembele when Real Madrid were playing against Barcelona in Las Vegas, and he did a decent job. More than a decent job, in fact.
What Dembele did to Juventus.
Yeah, and he didn't do that to Rudiger. Rudiger's a great one-on-one defender. I think he's almost a little bit too tall to be a fullback, but that one-on-one defending, certainly up against Dembele, did fantastically well. Some centre-halves get uncomfortable defending one-on-one. He doesn't at all. He's happy to be out in those wider positions.
Rudiger took a deflection. Just want to say that Casemiro has just decided to stay back at centre-back. Now he's back in midfield. But from almost a split 50-50 with Alaba in terms of that position in the second half. Vlahovic. Again, he's out-muscled by Casemiro. Whatever he defends at a very high level. And here is where they're at their very best. Lovely little flick from Casemiro, just springing the rod at Modric. Valverde, Benzema, Vinicius, lovely ball in behind Carvajal, the goalkeeper, a big save. Real Madrid at the very best.
Well, absolutely exquisite there for Real Madrid. It was like we were watching a keep-ball session in training, but Real Madrid are doing it against Juventus from one end of the pitch up to the other, and it ended up with a shot from Carvajal, a decent save from Bellerin.
Benzema, Cruz. So in these areas, it doesn't look like Juventus feel comfortable going out and trying to defend. Dropping off and allowing for shots from distance. And that one wasn't that far away from Toni Kroos.
Well, I think the point that you're making is absolutely true there, Keith. They're not comfortable pressing. They're dropping and dropping and dropping. And here is the culmination of that move from one end to the other. Here's again another power curl attempted, this time from Toni Kroos. Again, no off target. Players of that quality, you expect them to hit the target. And look, they're just giving the ball straight back here, Juventus as well. They're playing without confidence right now. And again, I get why. They're being played off the park at the moment.
Looks like he's getting ready to come on for Juventus. We're almost at that time in these kind of games where our jobs become a little bit more difficult, Matty.
Well, your job, Keith. I'm fine. I'm fine not being able to see the numbers, but yeah, you're right. I think, as I said, I think some Real Madrid players will play a full 90, but we will expect, obviously, substitutes on that hour mark. But we're just about that now.
Valverde. Another flick off a defender, and that one off the outstretched left leg of Bonucci. And Real Madrid will have another corner kick. And yeah, it certainly looks like the cavalry is about to arrive. Hearing 9 changes ahead for Real Madrid.
Okay, so there you are. I'm completely wrong. Nobody's going to be playing 90 minutes for Real Madrid. And the cavalry is arriving. And I think Carlo Ancelotti will be very happy with what he's seen in this opening hour of the game.
I'm guessing Rudiger's going to stay on. There you go. Cruz. All out to Benzema. Good first touch. I think he wanted to try and set himself up for a volley, but he was closed down well by Juventus. Key track back. Really good defensive play once again from Real Madrid. Rudiger, you talked about his 1v1 ability. We saw it there. Benzema on his left foot. Cold effort! What a save from Perrin! Barely a gap, but Benzema still found a way to go for goal. And the corner's taken quickly here by Real Madrid. Cruz, Modric! Perrin again with the save.
2 good saves from Perrin. And I think the players on show now, they've seen all the substitutes. They wanted to go out with a bang, that's for sure. Benzema certainly did, forced a really good save from the fingertips of the right hand of Perrin.
3 more changes coming for Juventus as well. Majoli. Quadrado, who's come out this left for the very first time. Sandro. Riccardia. Locatelli. Vlahovic. You could see the idea as he was looking to slip that one in for Quadrado, but the flag had gone up. And now we will see the changes. Aurelien Tchouameni, one of them. Camavinga also coming on. Rodrigo. And a great innovation inside the Rose Bowl for this starting Real Madrid side.
Why not? Karim Benzema leads the claps of the Real Madrid players. I think they appreciate this sellout crowd here at the Rose Bowl. Predominantly Real Madrid fans as well. Has to be about 95% Real Madrid fans here.
looks like he's going to right back. Vallejo, I think, is on at centre back. Courtois, for now, is the only one that could go 90. The other side of things, we have 3 players on the line for Juventus. Nicola Rovella, Aki, and Federico Gatti, all getting ready to come on. Has come off. Looks like Keane is going to go down the middle. That front 3. It's going to be Rudiger and Vallejo, the 2 centre-backs. Juventus, big signing. A lot of clubs after the young Frenchman. Big outlay of money on him. I thought the Frenchman they had their eye on initially, but certainly one for the future. As is this man, Camavinga. Juventus, nice ball. Getting away. Chance to break here for Cuadrado. Keane inside the area. Cuadrado, twisting, turning. This might fall for Keane, and Courtois. Strong punch clear. Rodrigo, good touch from him. Another man who's rumoured to have penned the new deal. Have some attention here as they still have a man down inside the Real Madrid penalty area. It was just after the punch from Courtois.
Yeah, it was a good punch from Courtois as well. It's good decision-making from the goalkeeper. Didn't try and catch it, just make sure he got a solid fist on the ball and got it up, out of danger, and then he also got distance on the clearance as well. Not just the height and distance on the punch from Courtois. Absolutely magnificent goalkeeping. Nothing more than you'd expect. Certainly, this is the last thing you want to see, certainly to a young professional like Ake. Only just come on the field of play as well.
He landed there as well, wasn't it? The knee slide.
It was, and this is the punch as well. You can see the height on the jump, and then the height and the distance on that right-handed punch from Courtois. What Ake, of course, we hope he's okay.
Gingerly to the sideline. I think we are going to see another change. That really is unfortunate.
He's been on the field no more than 60 seconds there, Ake.
Just 21 years of age, former Marseille man. And again, at this stage, you don't want to take any chances either.
No,
he wants the opportunity, but you don't want to potentially make any injury that bit worse.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing to gain in aggravating an injury, that's for sure. Still got a couple of weeks before the first league game. First real competitive game, that is, for Juventus. It was the 15th against Sassuolo. You have to feel for the young man, that's for sure.
Matthias Soule is up. So there are going to be a couple of changes here coming. Luca Pellegrini. But here come Juve after Real misfire in their attack. As you might imagine when you've made 9 changes.
Yeah, it's no surprise the game's going to be a little bit different to what we saw in that first half, in the first 15 minutes of the second. A little bit disjointed. Almost a 4-5-1 formation that we're seeing now for Real Madrid, with Eden Hazard as the lone frontman.
Now getting his first touch in the middle of midfield. Bonucci. That one just beyond Rovella, and he's pressed and he's lost it. Sideline getting ready to come on for Juve. Let's go forward here. Good movement from Real Madrid. That's
Vasquez, nice little touch. Another ball out wide. They have plenty inside the area. That might have been a foul on the edge of the penalty area. It doesn't matter. The cross is put in, and Real Madrid have the second goal of the night. Asensio timed his run to perfection, and the referee rightfully plays the advantage, and Real Madrid take full advantage.
Was just about willing to bemoan the referee, Michael Rancho, but good refereeing. And the lack of cohesion that we saw in the first few seconds with this newly installed bunch of Real Madrid players suddenly takes a turn for the better. A good run from Asensio, unmarked. Look at the lovely footwork here. Great ball from Hazard. He is then fouled as well. The referee says play on. The ball flashed across the top of the 6-yard box. And running from deep, Asensio sweeps it home with the left foot. Another good goal for Real Madrid.
Carlo Pinzoglio is going to come on in goal for Pereno. Made a couple of big saves. Daniele Rugani as well, experienced centre-back on for Brenner. Really good finish from Asensio, really good from Real Madrid to not stop, not wait for the whistle.
Exactly, you always taught as a schoolboy, schoolgirl, you play to the whistle, and they certainly did that, Real Madrid. And Asensio, I love that late run, so difficult to pick up a player who's on the move.
Nice ball out wide, chance to cross, good interception. Better play on the far side. Vasquez as a fullback again. Use the term jack of all trades. He's always found a way to just maximise his ability. Real Madrid need cover in the position. He's ready. Wide for Pellegrini. Quadrado. Carlo Ancelotti has been saying this week, we know how good a season was last year, but we feel we're even better with this squad we have. It's a tight squad last year, really only used 15 players. He's brought in Tchouaméni. Camavinga's a year older. Tommy Rudiger as well.
Absolutely, I like those two players as well, Camavinga and Tchouaméni.
Nice ball from Quadrado. The shot towards that near post never looked like troubling Thibaut Courtois. Soule just on the field. The effort off the side netting.
And again, you say it so many times, when you're in that position, at that tight angle, you've got to go across the face of the goalkeeper so that the goalkeeper is forced to make a save and offer up a rebound. You go for that near post area. The goalkeeper of the ability of Courtois is going to have that covered. And more often than not, it slashes into the side netting, as that shot from Soule did anyway.
Another man we haven't mentioned who has come on, Eden Hazard, who's been played almost as a false nine so far in pre-season.
Incredibly false, because he doesn't want to be there, that's for certain. We saw him in the movement for the goal, but that's almost playing in a 10 position. And look, Hazard, he's not very good at playing with his back to goal. That's not where he wants to be playing. He wants to be facing the goal, running up players. And it was also the joke when he was at Chelsea. He didn't really want to see him in pre-season until the first month of the season, because then he was up to match fitness, match speed, match weight possibly as well.
Nacho also who I mentioned. Wholesale changes for Real Madrid, but same old Real Madrid because they're coming forward again. Vasquez gets to the line and wins the corner kick.
Well, and there's Hazard playing, facing the goal, being able to see the pitch, being able to pick out passes. Well, they haven't missed a beat, have they, this Real Madrid new team that's on?
Short corner routine, good cross towards the far post. And And Rudiger again the target. Just too much on it.
Yeah, look, he makes no time in getting back either. That's what I love from Rudiger. Out of shot, I know, but he's missed the ball at the back post, and he's back in 4 or 5 seconds back on the halfway line and picking up Keane.
Looks like it's going to be a foul. Just the undercutting of Tchouaméni from Locatelli.
Yeah, this certainly hurts, that's for sure. Locatelli could feel Tchouaméni coming and just kind of turned his back, rolled his back. And then it made it very difficult for Tchouaméni to have a soft landing or even to think that he was going to hit the floor. Took the full force of that on his back.
Well, we're part of a spectacular evening here at the Rose Bowl. 93,702 in attendance.
Yeah, we said a little bit early on, didn't we, that after about 30-40 minutes there was probably only about 70,000 people here. Now there's not, now it's absolutely jam-packed. This is well and truly full capacity here, and you can hear it in the crowd noise.
Real Madrid sending numbers forward again. Vasquez tracking back in defensively. Juventus just playing themselves back into trouble. Vasquez almost winning it. Juventus with a man down. It'll be a Real Madrid throw-in. They're going to... Well, they almost took it quickly. And now, cooler heads prevailed. And you see the trainers come on, and more changes coming for Juventus as well.
It doesn't seem to matter how many changes Juventus make. The pattern of this game is still the same. Real Madrid have changed the whole of the starting lineup in terms of the outfield players, that is, and they've still been dominant in every area of statistics.
Nicolo Gudrig is going to come on for Locatelli in midfield. Danilo is going to come off. Looks like he's going to be replaced by Barbieri. As well. An Italian youth international. Has been on the score sheet already.
Yeah, Graca scored in that first friendly on their US tour against Chivas Guadalajara.
We talk about late on in these games where some of the bigger names given a rest, but for some of the younger players, it really is the big moment.
It's a big moment, it's the time to shine. Granted, there's not that long left, but just about a quarter of an hour it will be. There'll be some additional time as well. That's why sometimes it gets even more disjointed, because younger players are trying to do more than they possibly should. They're trying to shine, maybe taking that extra touch that they shouldn't.
Incredible atmosphere. Ancelotti said it's our duty to travel. We have fans everywhere. We must give them what they want. They've given it tonight. They're trying to give them more. Somebody else making the run.
Carlo Ancelotti say that with the accountant. I'm not sure which one.
They can be both, right?
Of course.
Asensio, there's been a lot of talk about his future, whether he's going to stay at Real Madrid. He's saying he's very happy to have him, but doesn't know if he will be here.
And of course, Ancelotti's happy to have him because it makes the squad stronger, but Asensio as a player has to want to play multiple minutes in every single game, and you don't see where he fits in, certainly not in terms of the starting lineup, as the best 18 or the best 20 for sure. Keeps Ancelotti happy, but not the player you would have thought.
We've got an incredible overview of this stadium. So many great nights here in multiple different sports.
this is, let's not forget, a pre-season friendly.
Camavinga. Vasquez. Asensio staying out wide. Comes inside Camavinga. Really attacking midfield position. Nacho. And the Rose Bowl regulars letting you know who they're here to cheer on tonight. Madrid is the champ. Has got two inside. Hazard is trying to twist and turn and get it back on his stronger foot. It just hasn't worked out for him yet as a Real Madrid player. He had that moment when they won the title. He grabbed the microphone and he said, "Next year you'll see the real me."
And we haven't yet. We haven't seen that Hazard of Chelsea, that's for sure. And we want to, because we know how talented he is. But again, this is a talented squad. It's a talented starting 11. It'll be hard for him to work his way into this side. Certainly, unless his form shines a little more.
Quadrado. Rugani. Gattu's come on for Bonucci at the back. Rovella picked up that holding midfield role. You can see the area of the field that Juventus need the most work in heading into the Serie A season. And the ball in the attacking area here, can they make it count? Roganaka just trying to twist and turn and fashion a shot on goal. Just that, Vasquez.
Confidence in these Real Madrid players, whether it's the starting 11, whether it's the 12 to 22 who come in next. It's quite remarkable. They're all fully confident not only in their own ability, but in their teammates' ability to accept the ball in tight positions.
Every pass being serenaded now by the fans inside the Rose Bowl. You don't want to be the player to give it away. Asensio.
They still haven't. How many passes is this? Too many.
Well, it's been so many passes that the fans are now bored of saying Ole. It's been remarkable. Yes, they've now given it away, but they try and win it back so quickly, Keith. That's the beauty of it for me. They want the ball, they covet it, and then when they lose it, they work so hard to get it back again.
Asensio took his eye off it, still managed to win it, and the referee says it just went over on the chance. It's going to be a yellow card here for the goal scorer.
Yeah, and I think he knew, Asensio. I think he did go a little bit over the top of the ball on Quadrado. Exactly on top of the ball. Took ball, yes. It's a tackle you could have got away with a few years ago. But he went over the ball knowing that the studs was going to cap. Just catch the opposition player in Quadrado.
Asensio was on the score sheet back in 2017 as well. They don't just keep the mainstays around, they keep some of those fringe players who are so important over the course of a season.
And I think that tells you how good it is to be around the Real Madrid team, of course, as well, because the fringe players can be kept happy too. A fringe player for 4 or 5 years and you still stay and remain Must be a great atmosphere, of course, to play for this Real Madrid side, but not just play for them, to be on the training ground every day, to be at such a massive club. And when your chance comes as well, like in big finals, even if it's just for 10-15 minutes, you then shine as well.
The perspective for Juventus is this has been a Real Madrid side trying to prove a point. Rodrigo trying to get it behind. Really good challenge.
Magnificent there from Gatti. Just used a little bit of pace and then more so than that, a little bit of strength as well. Just leaving Rodrigo off the ball.
Rugani does well to hold on to that. Gets it into Pellegrini. Now back for Rovella. High line defensively from Real Madrid, but Juventus unable to penetrate.
Pace at the back as well, don't they, too? Not worried, keeping that high line.
I think a lot of people, Matty, have been mesmerised or taken by the amount of new signings we've seen at Barcelona, the amount of money spent, but we're seeing tonight Real Madrid are still going to be the team to beat in La Liga.
Yeah, but Barcelona have spent all that money. Barcelona are 10 billion in debt. They better win now. That's the trouble. You're that much in debt. You gamble that much on those big name players coming in. You spend money you haven't got. You sell off rights to the famous Camp Nou. You sell off TV rights for years to come. You better now catch up Real Madrid and overtake them.
Quadrado. The Graka. Little turn. Trying to just play it across. Not bad play from the 20-year-old. Ball back with Rugani. Rovella. One of these young Juve players have shown well since coming on. Another good cross! Two trying to get on the end of it. The Graka appealing there was a handball in there, I think. Might have been a touch off a Real Madrid defender as well.
Yeah, it was Kudrin claiming that he was fouled at this near post area. It looks like a sliding tackle coming in from Rudiger. He's claiming, I think, that he was possibly caught. But yeah, look, Rudiger applied the pressure. And 85.5 minutes in, no shots on target, still for the Italian team.
Certainly Juve fans at home will be happy that you reminded them of it. Quadrado. Soleil going out wide, the corner towards the far post, and I'll tell you what, I don't think Camavinga knew too much about that. Flicked off his foot, out of play for another corner.
Very fortuitous, it could have gone anywhere from Camavinga. It comes through a whole crowd of players. You saw the ball very late, he couldn't even react. Just clips off the top of that right foot, goes behind.
Pellegrini. Quadrado has made his way all the way across it. He's going to take it. He's pulled rank on Pellegrini. Let's see if it was worth the trek out there. Rather header at that near post defensively, and Rodrigo has done well to hold on to it. Now they have options on the counter. Camavinga. Was so instrumental in coming on in some of those games in that Champions League run. He saw the face of Toni Kroos a few times where he didn't want to come off, but it worked out for Carlo Ancelotti.
Well, I like him, Camavinga. He's already a good player, but he's only going to get better. He's so confident on the ball. He doesn't try and do the hard things either, Camavinga. He always tries to keep possession. Of course, he tries to look forward first, but he's confident. A wonderful left foot. And that willingness to get forward after as well.
Right on cue with that pass. Chumini. Vasquez. Alejo. Nacho. Last couple of minutes here, Real Madrid. Goal in each half. Benzema in the first, Asensio in the second. And they're trying to get Asensio in again. Plays it back, and the goalkeeper, unsure of himself for a moment. Pinsolio just about got that away.
he'll tell you he's quietly confident in his own ability. But you saw just a little bit of insecurity, I think, from the keeper. And also still the high press. We know it's not the team that's played for all 90 minutes, but it's still willing to press even at 2-0 up Real Madrid.
Cross, Vasquez. So calm. Thibaut Courtois, equally measured.
Does that count as first save of the game for Courtois?
Well, for Juve, you might want to add it. About one punch, I think, and that's about it. But again, we might not be watching the finished Juve. Memphis Depay, another name that's been linked recently, and manages at Barcelona right now.
I think looking at this Juventus team, they've got to bring in another forward, another number 9. For me, a Martial, Depay possibly. Certainly know they've got excess forwards at Barca.
Really, inside the area. And again, good help defensively from Asensio, because we enter the final minute here at the Rose Bowl.
Well, that's another good thing. Even though they're this talented, this technically able, they're just selfless, aren't they, these Real Madrid players? Even the forwards are willing to track back and help defensively. It's been a really solid display here from Real Madrid. And I hope that you're right, Keith, that this is not the finished Juve article. There's a lot of work to be done. They're going to catch up with the likes of AC, with the likes of Inter, and even Napoli finished 9 points above them last season.
Those teams have made moves as well. Good play from him. Lively cameo from him since coming on. That shot takes a deflection. Still not fully clear. Is there a chance to go for goal here inside the area? Balls back for Pellegrini outside of left foot, and that's comfortably dealt with. And that will be the final action. The European champions showing their quality tonight in Pasadena. A goal in each half. 2-0 winners. Matty, your overall thoughts on the performance of both sides?
Look, Real Madrid are the finished article. We know that. They're following on from where they left off last season. They're a joy to watch. Juventus, a lot of work to be done on the training ground, but also in the transfer market as well, Keith. Look, for a pre-season friendly, it was a joy to be here. It was a joy to watch. Juventus got a little bit of a run around though, Keith.
Yeah, they certainly did, and even the changes didn't make a difference. Real Madrid were in the ascendancy. Benzema a goal in the first half, Marco Asensio a goal in the second half. Real Madrid with the perfect preparation for the Super Cup coming in 10 days' time against Eintracht Frankfurt. The final score from the Rose Bowl tonight, Real Madrid 2, Juventus 0.